Hey, it's Carolyn with Therapy for the Soul. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with you today to do our collective week ahead card reading to anticipate what some of the energies for this upcoming week might be so that you can be prepared and navigate them most easily to have a successful week ahead. This is going to be for the week of October 9th through the 15th. As always, it's a collective reading, so just take the messages that resonate and disregard the ones that don't. We'll be looking at general energies, love, and finance and abundance, okay? And so I'll put the timestamps down below as well if you're just interested in looking at one particular section of this over another. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to look at what an overall energy is going to be, and we're going to look at a soul lesson that the collective will be moving through this week. We just had a whole bunch that fell out, so I'm going to keep shuffling here to see if we can get just like one concrete message. Okay, the card that came through is fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Okay. And so we'll see what we learn throughout the course of the reading, but I think it's going to be good for this upcoming week to notice if you're having fear-based thoughts, if you're making decisions based out of fear. And so let's see if we can get some more information, okay? But I'm also going to share just what the guidebook says here in case there's some additional words here that are helpful about this particular lesson. The outcome of all choices in life is determined by two emotions, fear and love. Your soul is made of the energy of love, and fear is an earthly manifestation of a challenge. To embrace and wallow in fear is to go against your very being. Fear, in its many guises, is the obstacle that your soul uses to test its tenacity to stay on track. For a soul, human life can be very difficult, but acknowledging that your soul's true nature is love will always help you on your path. When fear rears its ugly head, it is really an opportunity for you to stare it in the eye and turn that doubt into trust. View it as a teacher. What lesson are you learning from these fearful emotions? The more you use the energy of love to diffuse fearful situations, the less often they will present themselves. So let's go ahead and get some tarot to learn more about how fear may be showing up. Okay, so we have the wheel in reverse position. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and our bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles, and actually right underneath this we have the Six of Wands, okay, and this came out in our card of the day reading that I did today on YouTube here and TikTok for Sunday, October 8th. So I feel like you're on this path where perhaps you feel like you're independent, you know, things are all coming together, and you feel like you're in the space of things coming together, okay? It feels like you're on this victorious path, okay? Because that's what our Six of Wands is all about, this victory that's happening. But something might be coming up this week where with the wheel in reverse position that says that it might be some sort of karmic lesson or some sort of unexpected setback. And this could trigger some sort of fear that might be coming up for you. or something is feeling like it's not in that harmonious balance. And you might be in the space of having planted a seed and you're in the waiting period for it to come to light. Okay? And a lot of times when we're in this waiting period, the mind is looking for all these things that might, almost say like why things aren't gonna work out, why what you're working towards isn't going to happen. And it's the mind's way of trying to protect you, right? But we can't be in this space of, focusing on fear and also like anticipating all these good things that'll be happening for us too. Because fear and love, they're these two different vibrational experiences, okay? And so if you're having some sort of setback this week, see if you can look at it as just like a lesson that your soul is needing to work through. And then I feel like as you take the time to do shadow work around what this is, and then you move into this space of trusting that, yeah, you are on this path towards victory and achieving what it is you're setting your mind and your heart out to achieve, that things are going to shift. This wheel is then going to, turn into the upright position where you're back on the path towards, your destiny and serendipity happening. And so don't allow anything that feels fearful for you to throw you off track, but we don't want to be ignoring the fear that might be popping up. It would be time to do some shadow work around this. And so notice if you feel maybe an automatic reaction, like you just want to give up or change course, or if you're taking actions like out of fear that seems more reactive too, and isn't maybe necessarily coming from this grounded place. It could be more impulsive. And so really feel into what fear is here to teach you this week. Now let's go ahead and dive into some messages about love and romance. You can see if fear might be showing up in that area of life for anybody this week. So go ahead and get some cards, what we need to know about love and romance this upcoming week. Okay, so what we have here, we have Love Abounds, which is the Ace of Cups. We have Control, which really is the Strength card in traditional tarot. We have Rest and Reconsider, which is the Nine of Wands, and this came out last week, I believe, in this section of the reading. And to our bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is feeling alone, okay? And so with the feeling alone at the bottom of the deck, I feel like it can be good to just tune in to see if you're making any choices based on feeling alone and maybe not wanting to sit with how those feelings feel, okay? There might be some sort of like new love that's coming to light with our Ace of Cups, but we're being guided, I feel like, not to necessarily just like dive right into it. We want to have this inner strength and this control to be able to like take a moment to reflect on what our heart is really saying about this. Are we acting from a place of love? Are we acting from a place of fear or feeling alone? And so we're told here, like with our Rest and Reconsider, to be not giving up at this time. It's almost like you're just about where you want to be. And so just make sure like fear isn't guiding the way to have you give up on what it is that your heart is truly desiring, if that makes sense. And so this makes me think that sometimes when feeling alone, some people might I don't know, kind of like jump into rebound relationships, right? To help deal with that feeling of being alone. You might look for somebody to just kind of like be there to kind of help alleviate that feeling of fear, perhaps rather than feeling like you're really ready to be cultivating a particular connection. And so we're just being asked just to take a moment to reflect on, what is this for us? If there is this new love that's coming in, what is guiding the way for us, okay? And you might feel like, hey, I do feel like I am ready to be pursuing what this is, but just check to see if it's based on feeling alone at the same time, okay? And it's okay to take that moment, like we have the rest and reconsider, to be able to pause and reflect on this. And again, this 9 of Wands really just says, don't give up. Like, you can stop to take a break, but it's okay to kind of keep moving towards what it is your heart really wants, rather than maybe looking for something that feels easy, if that makes sense. And it makes me think, like, when people go through a breakup, right, and you're wanting to be with somebody, the question, or maybe even like reminiscing about the person, the question can often be, well, do you miss that person, or do you miss just having somebody around? And that can be just like kind of like a good reflective question as well, okay? And so we want to be choosing love this week, not choosing fear. And so this is important to just notice if this is coming up for you at all, or if this might be coming up maybe as like a divine lesson that perhaps like you and a soulmate or a twin flame are working through at this time, okay? So let us see specifically just like what the masculine and feminines are healing through this week with our Journey to the Divine Masculine and Feminine cards. So let's see with the Journey to Divine Feminine. Okay, we have 2 cards for the feminines. We do have romance, and so this could speak to a new love interest that will be coming in for you this week. And I think, yeah, that kind of like, I feel like speaks to what this reading and what the messages are telling us, to like really take that pause, maybe take things a step at a time as you're connecting with this person, and really asking yourself, is this where love is guiding you towards, okay? And then we also have aligned, connected to source, identifying with something greater than the material world. And so with this, I feel like it's also like as you're doing some of this internal work to make sure that you are in alignment. And I feel like this is going to be perhaps one of the lessons that you're moving through this week, where maybe if something feels a little bit off, if fear is coming up for you, to make sure that you do that work to come back into alignment. Now let's see what the masculines are working through this week. Okay, so the masculines, we have divine feminine, sacred feminine. Masculine recognizes his feminine and the connection home. And we also have lovable, okay? And so I feel like the masculines might have this fear that they're not lovable and maybe aren't worthy of their divine feminine. And so this could be something that they are working through, a soul lesson they're working through, and it could show up with some sort of like new love interest that comes in. That maybe the purpose or the lesson with that connection is to help the masculine really have that confidence and that he is really lovable. But the divine feminine is the one that really is on his mind and who's in his heart, okay? And so this again could be just like an experience of separation with our feeling alone card that came through and our fear that is coming through, and it would be for the masculines to know that, you know, you can have your divine feminine, okay? But whatever experience that you're working through, yeah, it is important for you to be able to recognize that you are lovable, okay? And so make sure that you just like tune in and notice how that is showing up for you and the work that you need to do to be able to see yourself in the way the feminine, the divine feminine sees you. Because yeah, we have here that you recognize who your feminine is and that connection that truly feels like home here. Okay. Now let us get some messages from the romance angels. Okay, we'll see what we need to know about this, about love and partnerships and divine connections this week. We have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world, and I feel like that does go along with this rest and reconsider. Okay, so it really is, I feel like, just taking time to go within and get clear on where love is guiding you, where fear is guiding you, and what your heart is truly wanting right now. Okay, let's also get a Lover's Oracle card here. Okay, our card says, give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. I love this message, and I think this is perfect for these messages that we're receiving. And so it really is this piece of maybe not choosing to settle for something that's just going to help you feel less alone, okay? This love that you're seeking, it's on the way. Even when we go back to the feminine card of alignment, it is almost like you are aligning with this love and begin to just give thanks, give gratitude as if it's already here, because the gratitude you have is going to pull that into you more quickly. And this then is going to shift you from any energy of fear to that of one of love. Now let's wrap up this section of the reading with just some message cards from your person. I'd say it's from your divine masculine or divine feminine, what they would like to say to you. We have, I am sorry I held myself back with you. Maybe they had like a guard up or a wall up around their hearts and kind of like we're leaning out rather than leaning in. I keep comparing others to you. Okay. So even going through this idea, if there are connections that are happening with your divine counterpart as they are working through feeling lovable and kind of like moving through fear or feeling alone, to know that you're still on this person's hearts. They keep comparing other people on their path to you because they recognize nobody compares to you, right? And we also have, I just wasn't ready for you. Okay? And so some of the work that might be happening right now, where I feel like, yeah, that there is still like a separation that's happening for many of you who might resonate with this reading, is that maybe you both are preparing yourself for one another through these lessons right now. Okay? And so I hope this helps and with this section of our reading. Now we are going to move on to finances and abundance. And I'm going to pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And then there is a section in the guidebook that speaks specifically to prosperity. So let's see what we need to know. Okay, we have one that darted out of the deck here. We have chaos and conflicts, okay? So let's see. This is number 33, card number 33. Okay. So when it comes to prosperity, it says circumstances appear to be chaotic, but everything that's happening now is in truth shaking things up so you can find the real path to your prosperity. It's a stormy time and it feels as if there's opposing forces wherever you turn. But be reassured there is divine purpose in this chaos. Everything that doesn't work is being taken from you so the truest parts of yourself remain. These events occurring now are essential for your ultimate prosperity. This chaos is divinely inspired even though it doesn't appear that way now. In time, you will know this to be true. So it feels like that there's some sort of shakeup that might be happening. It might elicit some fear in you this week, but to really see if you can cultivate that energy of being almost like the calm in the center of the storm, where there might be just a lot of chaos and conflict that is happening all around you, but it is... yeah, it sounds like the universe's way of shaking things up so that you can step into almost like the version of yourself that's really authentic, your divine self, and allow that self to come through when it comes to like work and prosperity and life purpose. But let's get a couple tarot cards to get some more information here. Okay. So we have the Five of Autumn, and this is a repeating message from our Feeling Alone card from a different deck. But it says, reach out to others for assistance or timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues, and this could be part of what feels a bit chaotic. We have the Ace of Autumn, a windfall of money, advice, or assistance from others, very successful project, a happy change in your career. We have the Star. Look to the future with hope and optimism, the power of faith to move mountains. Happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. And then our bottom of the deck, we have Justice. Take the time to review details carefully. You'll win in the end, fair and objective decisions. So with whatever's being shaken up, it might have you a bit worried about money, but the guidance is that it's okay to reach out to others for assistance, and then we're being shown that you're going to receive that assistance. If you can maybe put like ego and pride to the side to ask for that help is going to be coming in. And so continue having hope, even if things feel shaky right now. Where we have the power of faith can move mountains. And so look to your North Star, continue just focusing on hope and faith that everything's gonna be working out, and this chaos and conflict is here almost to, I don't know, help maybe even like purge some different things in your life so this calmness can then arrive, okay? And it's something that it's going to be something that feels fair with our Justice card. The Justice card is about almost like taking a step back, looking at things more objectively, okay? It's something that feels fair. We can think of the Justice card being like associated to like legalities and things like that. And so everything's gonna work out just fine in a way that feels good for you, okay? And so it really is trying to kind of like keep your eyes on the star during this time. Don't get too caught up in all the stuff that's happening around you, okay? And ask for that help if you're needing it right now, to see if that will also help support you as you're continuing to have hope and faith that everything is leading you towards something that feels really good. Now, to wrap up our reading going to get an oracle card for a final message here. Okay. We have break free. Try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn. Okay? And so just notice in what ways you feel it would be helpful to maybe break free from what's not serving you, break free from what you know, to be able to have these soul experiences and soul lessons. And it might be overcoming some fear around this so that you can continue to evolve and expand in whatever areas of your life you feel like you're being called to do so this week. Okay? And our guidebook here says, sometimes we get into ruts and routines because they feel safe and comfortable. By drawing this card, you're asked to swim outside your comfort zone. It's time to take risks and explore new ways of thinking, making a living, or being in a relationship. When you make the commitment to explore and experiment, the world responds by giving you wonderful new experiences. Heaven isn't necessarily asking you to settle into these new avenues, but to instead test the waters and venture out. Sometimes we'll experiment and learn new things, and then when we return to our comfortable old routines, we're changed and for the better. This is definitely a time for you to reach out and enjoy new options. Try something new today. And this makes me even think, like, circling back to the love reading of like the masculine needing to kind of like learn a lesson about how to be lovable. Where if this is showing up in your connection, it's nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. Okay, it's almost like that idea, like what's meant for you will always come back to you. And as the masculine is able to learn these lessons, he's going to show up as this divine masculine self with you, okay? And so just see what other ways you might be staying in a space where you just feel like you're comfortable and you need to explore and expand. And that doesn't necessarily mean you can't kind of like circle back to what did feel comfortable before. But when you do come back, hey, you're in this space of just more wisdom, more experience. You're going to be coming back a different person. It kind of reminds me of like the hero's journey cycle a little bit too, okay? And as this fell on the floor, I realized, circling back to our card from the beginning of the reading, fear, that another card had dropped onto the floor, which is honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And so I feel like this is almost like a perfect way to end the reading, to just think when fear shows up, it's good to be honest with yourself, okay? And how do we know when fear shows up? We could be making impulsive decisions, okay? We might feel that anxiety within our guts. And it's a little bit different than maybe like excitement feeling. Okay, so it's good to distinguish between those two. But it reminds me of even a card of the day reading message that we got last week, which talks about like making sure you're not deceiving your heart. And so really tune in to see, are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with others? If fear is there, you know, you're going to notice that with fear-based thoughts. It's going to feel like a feeling that's like almost keeping you small. It's a very restrictive feeling. It's almost like you feel like you have to take action right then. It's not really one that feels like that inspired action. And so just notice when that's coming up. Be honest with yourself this week and just keep working and looking at the life lessons that are being shown to you, the soul lessons to be working through, okay? And this is what we have for this week. So I hope that today's reading really helps you. So just be aware, be on the lookout if fear is showing up this week, so then you know some different ways to be able to navigate it. And fear is nothing to be fearful of. It's just sitting with it, understanding why it's there. And as we give fear within us that emotion some time and presence and allow it to speak to us, often it starts to soften and the fear goes away. almost like love takes over. So have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you again at the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.